What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic Saturday afternoon or Friday if you're in Australia or Japan, I guess. Is it Friday already? I don't know. Anyway, it's the 25th of January, 2020. Or Sunday. Why did I say Friday? Good start. Good start to the show. Good start to the show. You're going to hear my sex voice right now. You're going to hear the voice that women used to hear. This is my morning voice. This is the voice I have in the mornings. I did not have sex. But I'm saying, like, this is the voice that people used to hear when I did have sex with them, because this is my morning voice. Why is this my morning voice? Well, because of what has happened with fish. I didn't catch a lot of sleep these past couple days, so I slept in this day. I slept in today, so I was gonna go work out at 10:30 with my friend at the rowing class thing that I go to, as you guys know, and I decided not to do that. I decided to stay in and sleep in because my back is all sorts of messed up right now, and I think it literally is messed up because I worked out when I was tired, I was malnourished, and it's something that you should not do. It really is something I do not recommend. Do not work out when you're tired. Do not work out when you're malnourished, because if you do that, you have a much higher likelihood of injuring yourself, as I did. Okay? So, anyway, my back was all messed up, so I didn't go work out today. So I'm starting early. I'm starting at actually an EU friendly hour rather than the hour I normally would start at, which is like 3 to 4 hours later. You look like Kendrick Lamar. Thank you. So I'm gonna do a recap. 11 p.m. EU friendly? Yes, 11 p.m. is EU friendly. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of news to go over today. A lot has happened in the realm of politics. There is the burn momentum. We're going to talk about that. I'll give you guys a quick recap of the Grammys party I went to last night and the devastating defeat that the working class delivered to me personally. So I am now a bourgeois capital owner who hates the working class after my interaction, or should I say lack of interaction, with a particular Postmates driver. I hate the poor now. I want to punch the poor. I want to fight the poor. Anyway, so we'll talk about that in a second. And then we're going to do a debate reaction. We're going to react to my debate on Fox News. It was on television last night, and apparently a lot more people watch Fox News on a Friday night than I thought they would. Even people my age were posting about it, so that was cool. Yeah, so a lot of good stuff. So before I get into the news, let me just tell you my story from last night. Okay, I can't do phone banking on stream. What is the fuck? What is this emote? What is this emote? Oh, this leaked. I was going to talk about this before, but all right. Well, I guess I'll talk about that in a second. but this emote is cancerous. Don't do this. Anyway. You sound hungover AF, dude. I'm not hungover. I actually drank a lot last night, but I wouldn't say a lot. I did drink a good amount last night, but not enough that I would be hungover in the morning. Anyway, so let me get started. So you guys already know last night I ended stream early because my friend Bryce was hitting me up to hang out, and I hadn't seen him in a long time because he's touring all the time. Some of you probably already know him. Others are going to say Who Omega Lol. Some of you are going to say HasanAbi flexing that he has friends. Others are going to say HasanAbi flexing that he has famous friends. Bryce Vine is the dude I'm talking about, the musician guy. Not Bryce Belden. Anyway, yeah, it's already happening. Okay, cool. So, Can one buy Bernie merch from abroad, or does that count as contributing from outside of the USA? I don't know. I think you're fine. Anyway, where was I? Okay, so I left you guys in a hurry, and I went over to this address that he gave me. It's this like lot area. It wasn't super far from my house, so I get in an Uber. I rush over there, and I thought it was a house party. I was like, oh, this is going to be like a chill house party. It wasn't. It was a Grammys party for his record label, okay? His record label happens to be Warner, which is a very big record label. So I walk over, I'm like, oh no, this is going to... I'm still under the belief that this is not going to be like super hectic. It'll be hectic inside, but it won't be super hectic to get in because, you know... He's one of their artists. He got like 3 platinums, I think, or something. Whatever music metric is important. I don't know. I don't know enough about music. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, I'm outside. And he's still a relatively new artist with them. So I hit him up and I'm like, yo, get me in. There's bouncers and stuff here. There's like a row of Elizabeth Warren supporting PR people that are just sitting with their phones out, waiting to scan my QR code that I don't have to get into this party because I wasn't invited. And he just says, "No, just walk right in, dude." And listen, I mean, I'm sure there's like people over the age of 18 here that have like tried to just walk right into bars or try to just walk right into nightclubs. You know how that experience goes if you've ever experienced it. And if you haven't experienced it, I'll tell you, it doesn't work like that. It has never worked like that in the history of anything ever. Okay? The entire purpose of a giant row of bouncers and PR people is literally because you shouldn't be able to just walk in to anything. Like that's the way that this goes. They never let you in. And like, I'll be honest, sometimes if I go to Coachella or if I go to like festivals or whatever, given my line of work, some of the PR people will know who I am and they'll just like let me in, even though I definitely don't get invited to any of these things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not that cool. They'll be like, oh yeah, you're good. This was not one of those circumstances. And think about it this way. Like, I used to go out all the time. I used to socialize all the time. I used to go out to these parties all the time. And even back then, I still sometimes would get uncomfortable in these situations. But now, with my current mental state, I don't even go outside, let alone socialize with human beings, let alone go socialize with human beings in like drinking environments, let alone go socialize with human beings in drinking environments that are like very exclusive events. So this is like the worst of the worst of the worst kind of situation that I could ever be in. You sit on a throne of lies. I'm not. I'm being honest. So I walked up. So I walked up to the PR person. Well, first of all, I pushed past the bouncer. Like he had like, he was holding the rope, and I just like walked in. As soon as he opened it, I saw an opening and I walked right in. Okay. And he like almost tried to stop me, but I was like, no, I kept my head down. I didn't look at him at all. And I walked right in. So that's the first line. Okay. So first line of defense eliminated. Okay. I just speed ran through that shit like, you know, like a Dark Souls speed runner. Okay. Boom. Creep looking in the wrong direction. Bam. Passed right him. Okay. Dodge. Now we have a second line. We have like the stacked up 12 PR professionals that have literally the worst faces. Like they are just so angry. Okay. They're just so angry looking because I mean, they've probably been dealing with like assholes who are semi-famous the entire night, who haven't been able to get into this party. So here I am, an asshole who's not even semi-famous. Okay? So here I am, total normie, and I'm wearing my fucking Bernie Sanders sweater. So like, I mean, it was just terrible. Like I didn't even like look cool. I just looked like an asshole. So I walk up to the PR person and I'm like, hi, I'm Bryce Vine's friend. I'm his +1. And they're like, do you have a QR code? I'm like, no. And then the trick is I was being like kind of condescending, or not kind of condescending, but strict and straightforward and assertive. I was like, no, I don't have a QR code. Because listen, PMCs only respond to that kind of behavior. Okay? If I had walked over there and been like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know, I don't have a QR code, they'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Bouncers, come here, beat this person's ass, like strip them of their humanity and dignity right now in front of every single person that's also waiting in line. This person needs to be humiliated and thoroughly embarrassed. So I was like, no, I don't have a QR code. So that's the first time that's the first time the person I was talking to looked up at me, because I was like, oh, well, let me see what this guy's about.
Love the spirit of justice. You love.
And I said, Bryce Vine. I'm Bryce Vine's +1, whatever. And the PR person who omega lol'd Bryce and was like, who omega lol, I don't care. And I was like, and I kept repeating it. No, I was like, well, I said, he's one of your artists. With that tone, I was like, he's one of your artists. Like, you know, he's with this record label. And the manager, like the PMC's manager in the back overheard me. So now the boss, I've aggroed the boss. Okay. So like I'm dealing with the creeps and I'm parrying them. But now I've aggroed the boss PR person. So now the boss turns around and no, he wasn't, he wasn't a Karen. He was a gay Karen. This is PR we're talking about. So he turns around, I aggro him. He comes up to me and he's got like, you know, I know he's a boss because 1, he has a list in his hand, and 2, he has like an earpiece. So like, this is, you know, this is a scav boss, and I don't know if I'm ready to deal with it. So I increase the intensity a little bit. I say, Bryce Vine. He says, who omega lol again? I say, he's one of the people here. Like he's one of the artists with this record label. I understand if you guys don't know, because you know you're just doing your job, you're doing PR for the company, but you know he's one of your top artists. And he like was a little agitated. I could sense that he didn't know if I was a person that should be at that party or not, judging by the way I was talking to him. And if we're keeping it real, I was not a person who should be at that party. Like, I'm nobody. Okay. I'm not in music. I should not be at that party at all. So his original instinct was correct. But the way I was talking to him made him think that I should be at that party. So Luckily, there was a Hail Mary. Okay? What the fuck? You're one of the biggest on Twitch? Yo, you guys really need to leave your little bubbles, okay? The biggest people on, like, Ninja would not be able to just, like, walk into a fucking Hollywood party like that. It doesn't work that way. Being the biggest, as XQC once said, it's like being the rat king of shit. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, we make great money, and we have like actual real fans, and it's awesome, and like a super dedicated audience. But being the biggest on Twitch is completely inconsequential in when it comes to like actual Hollywood fame world. Like, you could have literally 5,000 followers on Instagram, but if the right people are fans of you and you're known as like a up and coming artist or whatever, it's much easier for that person who is a real Huamegalol in comparison to like XUC to be able to get into a party like that. So anyway, it's just fucked. It's broken. Metrics don't matter. Anyway, so now back to the boss. Okay, we're back at the boss battle. The boss turns around. He turns his back, and that's never good. So that's like the ult. Okay, the most important thing that PR bosses can do is turn their back to you, because that means like they're disrespecting you. It's like if a dog is in your vicinity and a dog turns his back to you, that means he trusts you, right? That means he's like, or he's taunting you. He's saying like, I don't care. You can hit me from behind and it wouldn't even do any critical damage. Like, that's how OP I am in comparison to you. So he turned around and I was like, oh no, this is terrible. And internally, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh God, this is so embarrassing. I didn't even want to do this. I only came here because I thought it was like a low-key kickback kind of house party thing, and that I was going to be able to see my friends that I haven't seen in a very long time. Okay? And this is like way more. Like, this is so much more than I expected. I don't want this to happen. It's just absolutely terrifying. I don't want this. Boss battle is taking place. And then the Hail Mary happens. There's a dude right next to me. And he goes, he's one of your artists. Or not one of your, he goes, he's one of our artists. Sorry. And that was the hallelujah moment, because someone who's also actually in the music industry, someone who's also at Warner, was standing right next to me. And he was being grilled by the same PR creep and the PR boss. And he was like, he's one of our artists. So now I've essentially tacked on to this guy. So if the tank is actually legit, okay, he took all the damage. If he's actually legit, if he actually is a Warner guy and he's like an executive at Warner that got somehow fucked over by the PR team, it's over. That's a squad wipe. Like, he will wipe out the entire squad. All the creeps are dead. All the PMC boss is dead. Because you know, that's a grave miscalculation that they did. Like, they literally didn't let in a Warner executive at the fucking Warner music party. Like, that's terrible for them. They're all now in fear that they might get fired. So now I'm just like, I'm keeping it super cool, because I'm like, thank God I got some allies here. You know, I'm not on my own. Okay. And the second Hail Mary comes in, and there's another person from Warner who's inside already. And she sees him and goes, oh my God, why are you waiting? Like, why are they not letting you in? And then it was over. After that, it's like, that's it. They're done. All of them. All the creeps are stunned. The boss is stunned. Like, everyone is like in a state of panic now. Literal executive at Warner not being let in to a fucking Warner party. And I'm standing right next to him. So now I'm legitimate too. So, because like he said, he legitimized me by essentially saying like, no, he deserves to be here too. Like, Bryce Vine, that's his friend, and he's an executive, and he definitely deserves to be there. So all of a sudden, you know, the PR team is just fucking fully wiped out. Everyone is wiped out. I walk right in. I left him too. I didn't even thank him. I just like very calmly and like kind of angrily, like, ugh, they've wasted my time. Like I made it seem like they had wasted my time, and I just walked right in. I was like, ugh, thank you. And that's how you socially engineer and sometimes get lucky and get into parties that you shouldn't be able to get into. And by that I mean carried by tank and healer. So, yeah. How was the party? It was awful. It's just like all of these parties are awful. No one that you want to see there is actually there. Like, I thought maybe Dua Lipa would be there because she's signed by Warner. So I was like, maybe I'll see her. Like, you need a real Muslim man. Like, you know, break up with Anwar Hadid. I'm here for you, Bibi. Shofi Dua Lipa, Bibi. But no, she wasn't there. I didn't really pay attention. I don't know who was there really. I was so overwhelmed by the amount of people around me because like I wanted to tell Dua Lipa come to Beşiktaş, but you know. This is what you sound like when you use Tarkov analogies. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever send me a Control-Alt-Delete. Don't ever send me a Control-Alt-Delete comic panel ever again, Gorbachev. That is the worst thing you've ever done. Explain to Dua what the Poggers emote is? Yes. That was what I was going to do. I was going to be like, Dua Lipa, hi, what's going on? Do you want to learn about Poggers? I'll tell you this much. Not a lot of people reacted to me wearing Bernie merch in a positive way. But the ones that did react in a positive way reacted really positively. Like, a girl who was very clearly drunk came up to me and was like, thank you. I was like, what? Why? It's like, thank you for wearing that. Thank you. And hugged me. And then walked away. And then everyone clapped, right? No, nobody clapped. Nobody knows who the fuck I am in the music industry, dude. Are you crazy? I mean, there were a couple people who came up and said, like, I love what you do. But, not necessarily... Should we do one more Haas Mods nuke? No, it's fine. No, it's okay. But yeah, no, I just hung out with my friends. We're all really old now. We used to go out all the time, like nonstop every night. It's like me, Bryce, and Bryce's agent Josh, who's also a really good friend of mine. All three of us were really good friends. We would go out all the freaking time, talk to girls, you know, drink every night. And now Bryce tours nonstop, like year round. He's literally always touring. He's a freaking workhorse. Josh is always working, and he moved away from this area. So he's literally constantly doing agent stuff, and he has a girlfriend. So basically, like we never see each other ever. We never see each other, and we never go out. And like Josh immediately dipped. Him and his girlfriend who were gonna get married. Like he immediately dipped.
You love your father, the devil.
She dipped first, and then he followed right after. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? This is like your industry event. Why are you leaving? We should be hanging out right now. Like, this is the one time that we're all in the same city, and like, we're not going to hang out for more than 5 minutes. And he just, boom, he was out. And Bryce isn't even drinking. So I was the only one who was like kind of drinking a little bit so I could combat my social anxiety, which is not a good thing to do. Don't do that. You know, and we just kind of talked about how old we are and that's it.
You don't love the
and then we went to another house party and I dipped out after that. Now, the real devastating events that took place was after I left the house party, got home, and I was incredibly hungry. Okay? I was incredibly hungry. So what did I do? I ordered from Cantor's Delicatessen. It's a famous Jewish deli here in Los Angeles. A lot of you that don't know should know. Okay? So I, in the middle of the night, ordered Postmates because I'm too drunk to drive. So I'm not gonna do that. And I'm starving and there's no more food left in my fridge because I ate the chicken that I cooked earlier in the day. There's literally nothing left in my fridge. So I'm like, I have no option. I just need to order a pastrami sandwich from Cantor's Deli. So I did that. I ordered a Postmates. And let me tell you something.
You don't love the spirit of justice.
There are people out there who are evil people, okay? Truly evil people, like war criminals, transphobes, sexists, misogynists, homophobes. And then there is another level of evil, okay? You have, on the one hand, you have like people who deal in death and destruction. And then on the other hand, you have another level of evil. And that level of evil, like worse than war criminals, is the guy who delivers your Postmates and says delivery completed as soon as he gets to your address so he can yoink your fucking sandwich at 2:30 after making you wait for 30 minutes for a sandwich with your mouth watering. Delicious Sammys were going to be in my mouth. Okay? What did my man do? Wait, what was his name? I literally took a screenshot of it. I was like, if I ever see this dude out in the real world, I will probably fight him. I will probably fight this guy. Like, Postmates doesn't need to know about this, but him and I, we have beef. Okay? We have beef forever. He has brought great shame to his family, his lineage. Like, it's going to be like one of those movies where like years down the line, like I kill him, and then years down the line, like his son kills me, that sort of thing. Okay. And for someone who's saying like Hasan Lizzo Piker, that's not what happened. So like people lose my stuff or people don't deliver all of the things I ordered all the time. Who cares? That happens. It'd be like that sometimes. No, this is different. This is when you deliver. This is when you act like you completed the delivery and then you run out. And you know why I know he immediately left? Because I was so hungry, as soon as it said your Postmate is downstairs, okay? And he didn't even call, he didn't even like buzz up, he didn't do anything. As soon as it said your Postmate is downstairs, I was so excited, I ran outside with no socks, like no shoes. I literally ran outside. And he was fucking gone, dude. He said delivery completed and left. I ran outside of my apartment complex at like 3 a.m. with no shoes on. Like that's how excited I was for my fucking Sammy, dude. And I ran after him and he was gone. He was like, holy fuck, a shoeless homeless dude is running after me. Probably. And honestly, I'll tell you this much. I fucking woke up angry, dude. Like, I went to sleep really mad. I made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Luckily, there was some wheat bread that I had left over from like a while back. So I made the remaining peanut butter. I used the remaining peanut butter and jelly I had in my fridge to make PB&J sandwiches, and I went to sleep super mad, dude. Like, I was so mad. I was ready. I was 1,000% like it wasn't a Tom Hanks run. It was more like It was more like Tom Cruise. Like it wasn't like a Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump. It was more like, you know what I mean? Like I ran outside. I sprinted down the stairs. Just super angry, like, should have eaten the MRE. Explosive movement. Explosive. Okay? Explosive. Anyway, so as I was saying, so that was devastating. I was so mad, dude. I was so mad. I woke up angry. I woke up angry this morning because I had not gotten my pastrami sandwich. And I'm still thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it. It's basically, it was like a John Wick moment. I thought stealing from the rich is praxis. Stealing from the rich is praxis. Okay? That kind of theft, though, unimaginable. Who would do that? Who would do that, dude? At least take one of the things I ordered. You know what I mean? Because I ordered 2 things. You can't order just like one sandwich. Steal that. Say it got lost. But let me have one. You know what I mean? I was so hungry. Oh, and now I understand. And now I understand why Jank got so mad at me for eating his leftovers. Let's find this dude and cut his hand off. Yeah. Now I understand why people do Sharia law. Yeah. I would cut his hand off. Oh, stop saying in a video game. I'm obviously joking. Like, and this is a thing that happens in real life. This is you running after the driver.
Must go faster.
Literally.
Get off the stick! Let him move! Look out! Down!
Yeah, my head is that size too, so thank you for acknowledging that. Yes, my head is gigantic and larger than my body. And my legs are gigantic too. Actually, I'm pretty much the opposite of a T-Rex. I have a tiny head, huge arms, huge upper torso. My legs are all right. It's proportional, but not like... Yeah, someone on Twitter said he won't lose his job, just his kneecap. And it's true.
You don't love the spirit of justice. You love your father, the devil.
We should do a media share and crowdfund enough to put a...
crowd found enough to put in a hit on the dark web.
Okay. I don't hate him that much. It is a Fleekly poster in the background. Wait, I do. It's a stencil on a poster, but hold on. I literally took a photo. His name was Alexon. Alexon. I will never forget that. I will never forget his little tiny face in the PFP that he uses for Postmates. Doxed him? Yeah, you guys are gonna find Alexon. Don't dox Lizzo Piker. So what is this Lizzo story? Can someone send me the Lizzo story? Because everyone was like, this is just like you. This is just like Lizzo. This is just like Lizzo. Can someone tell me what Lizzo did? Listen, man. Don't fuck with us fatties and our food, okay? I think Lizzo's in the right.